Okay, part two of the weekly stock market update. Now, Microsoft, one of my favorites, one of the easiest stocks to do 2 times leverage on, because generally, with some exceptions, it doesn't tend to be volatile when the markets are rising, or when it is rising. It doesn't tend to be very volatile to the downside. So 2 times leverage along the periods when this is rising is a one-way bet to basically shed loads of money. That was where become a bit unstuck, but even then that was a V-shaped rebound and it was perfectly fine. So when it does that and triples, you make 6 times your money. How do you avoid these falls? Well, I've said it before. If you see that happening, basically monthly MACD, that's point 1. Point 2 is falling. Point 3, falling sharply. Point 4, falling from an overbought position. Point 5, falling under its own moving average. Okay, simple. I've said it a million times before. Have a look at alpeshpatel.com/links otherwise. So, as it's a stock market update, let's look at this. Now, this is doing a replica of this. In other words, it's probably going to have a few downward weeks before it has one last fandango upwards. Okay, am I worried? No, except I'm not holding Microsoft now. Why? Well, not because I'm expecting a fall like this, but because, remember, I had in my son's junior ISA 2 times leveraged Microsoft. My wife's portfolio copies his to avoid bureaucracy, so she had 2 times Microsoft since January, if you follow my Telegram, since January 2023. So they were both sitting on over 100% returns. In that, I had over 15% unleveraged of my portfolio in Microsoft, because as with my quality 5, I can have up to 3 times as much as my regular 5% would be the starting point, 20 stocks, 5% in each. So I just maybe did an over-exuberant clean out, and I could have kept half of it. And in hindsight, maybe I should have kept half of it. But anyway, it's not as if I can't get back in. So that's where I am with Microsoft. Would I buy more today? No. I'd wait. Rightly or wrongly. I wouldn't shoot somebody if they bought more today. Would I continue holding if I had some? Well, if I had some, yeah, okay. Would I sell? No, I wouldn't sell. Okay, Amazon is on the Great Investments Program, alpeshpatel.com/links for that one. How are we on Disney? Well, Disney's a waiting game because, you know, it's got to do all that. It's got a long way to go before it does that. And it's getting one of those periodic pull down. Well, how do you know if you're going to like it when you buy a stock? How do you know you're going to like it even if it's going up? It's like going on a roller coaster. I know I'll get off safely, but how do I know I'm going to like the roller coaster? Well, one of the best things you can do is when you look at the upward trends, times when it's moving upwards, what is the drawdown danger, depth and duration? Depth means peak to trough. Depth and duration means how long before it recovered. Okay, and if you don't like that, you're probably not going to like the upward rise, even though it's an upward rise. Everyone goes, oh, it's okay, I can just hold this stock for 1,000 years. Warren Buffett told me I can hold it for 1,000 years and I'll be rich. Yeah, most people can't do that for a variety of reasons. Have a look on YouTube for all my videos on why IFAs should be locked up and how they underperform. Now let's look at Nvidia. Now, once again, I mentioned it a billion times before. If it drops X, you can sell Y. Okay, X is easy. 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 25. Y is dependent on your risk appetite. If it drops X, sell Y. Okay, simple as that. I got out of it because I wanted to, for my risk appetite, well, my son wanted a Ferrari, so I got out of Nvidia. I'm being facetious. Of course, Nvidia has done this amazing thing. Well done, Nvidia. I didn't have 2 times leverage. Fantastic. Did I know it was going to do that? No. It was on my approved filtered list in January of 2023. Value, growth, income, cash flow, Sortina, alpha, and it was the best performer of those. I got lucky, you might say. Shareholders of Nvidia did indeed get lucky. Now, we got out of this, as you know, in October of last year. Where the heck's that gone? October 2023. Well, that was it. Yeah, after this fall. Since when it rose a bit and it's collapsed. Now, it's had a bit of a spike up because Elon went to China. Unless you're tracking his private jet movements or you know the pilot, you wouldn't have got that bump up. We didn't. We don't care. We're not trading it. We're not even in it. Until that moves, maybe not even flat, until it arguably even goes above its own moving average, That'd be the safer time to enter, in which case you wouldn't have entered at all during any of that. The higher risk is there. The highest risk is if it's just flat, but certainly don't enter any stock where the moving average MACD is falling on a monthly basis. Never ever enter a stock when that's happening, is always my view. Meta, you will have to look at my great investments program as to why I exited. NXP Semiconductors, well, fantastic. It's going up, still got some room. Now remember, what you've got to do again, like I said, will you like it? Will I like it, Alpesh, this upward journey? Well, look at the duration of drawdowns before it breaks even, and look at the depth of drawdowns. If you're not happy with that depth and that duration, then you shouldn't take the upward ride, because you can't handle it. You know, Qualcomm, similar kind of story. Love it. I continue holding it. We continue holding NXP. It's a shame Intel hasn't done what these two have done, given that they're in the same sector. So much for sector watching. ServiceNow, you'd have to look at my great investments program as to why I got out. Netflix, I don't own, but it's a bellwether. This stock market update, and it just keeps giving. I'm really surprised. I didn't think it would have this much of a ride up, but I've only shown the monthly ones this month to show you what happens. You know, look at that drop there when a lot of people would have exited. But you didn't, of course, do that. I mean, we don't own it, so I've got no skin in the game on this one, because you will know that periodically, in an upward move, it has that drawdown duration and depth. Okay, you will know that. Those are the periods when others panic. How come you didn't panic? Because you looked at the monthly MACD, because you're a clever cat. That's why. PayPal is now looking interesting, but very high risk, given that it's had this downtrend for bloody ages. Reminds me a bit of Meta, where it dropped 80% in 1 year, and then the next year went up 350%. I'm not saying it's going to do that, but as long as this monthly MACD is above its own moving average, you're okay. Valuations are low as well. Please have a look at why I think these fund managers are destroying your pensions. I've had over 1 million views. It's 1.3 million now on my YouTube channel. This year, we exceeded that. So what about what's popular with hedge funds? Not one I got. I wish I had. The hedge funds are right. I was wrong on this one. General Electric has just kept giving, and I'm surprised. I really thought when I first started covering it, I think it was in January, that it was overbought, it's going to collapse. I certainly wouldn't have got in there. And of course, had I would have had a 62% return on it. Well done, all of those. Notice, no ego. I got it wrong, they got it right. It continued going up. I wouldn't buy it now, but then again, I was wrong on it before. Have a look at my TikTok there and YouTube channel. You'll see some amazing videos on why funds absolutely destroy your pension. Okay. I'm also on LinkedIn, where I've written some interesting articles. I'm now a top voice on LinkedIn, somewhat like Mr. Bill Gates. Oh God, just think what could have been. Now, you can read the client reviews on alpeshpatelreviews.com and have a look at alpeshpatel.com/links as well. So that's alpeshpatelreviews.com. Thank you all very much. Lots more to come. More events in person coming up as well. So do have a look at alpeshpatel.com/links and keep a close eye on it, and on my Telegram channel and the like. Thank you, friends.